Here's a scenario. Your user opens your AI-powered app on a slow 3G connection. They ask a question the app has answered 100 times before. The spinner appears, 4 seconds, the response finally loads. Now here's the same scenario with a cache. Same user, same slow connection, same question. The response appears instantly because you already have it. The AI didn't run, the API wasn't called, no tokens was spent, the user got the answer in under 100 milliseconds. Caching is one of the highest leverage architectural decisions in an AI powered Flutter app. And most developers don't add it until they have a performance problem, but then they're refactoring it into the walls. Add it from the start, build it behind an interface, and you'll never have to touch it again. Welcome back to Intelligent Flutter. We've covered the repository pattern, streaming state management, context management, and conversation persistence. Today, it's caching. How to make your AI app feel fast, reduce cost, and work gracefully when the network is absent. 3 patterns, 1 clean abstraction. Let's go. You've probably cached REST API responses before, right? You fetch a list of items, store it locally, serve from the cache while it's fresh, invalidate when it's stale. AI caching has 2 complications that REST caching doesn't have. First, inputs are natural language, not structured query patterns. When you cache a REST response, the key is deterministic. It's a URL plus query parameters. When you cache an AI response, the key is a free-form string. What is block and can you explain block are different strings, but semantically the same question. A naive exact match cache misses the second one. The second complication is outputs are probabilistic. AI responses aren't canonical. The same question can get a slightly different answer each time. A cache hit is always the same answer. Is that okay? Usually yes. For factual questions like what is block, that has one right answer, right? For creative or personal prompts, probably not. So before you cache, you have to ask yourself 2 questions. 1. Is this the kind of prompt where the exact cached answer is as good as a fresh one? 2. Is exact match good enough or do I need semantic matching? For most utility features like summarization, categorization, FAQs, autocomplete, the answer to both is yes. Cache aggressively. For personal, contextual, or creative prompts, you don't cache, just let the model run. This pattern is cache aside, where the prompt arrives, it checks the cache, it hits and returns in under 100 milliseconds. If it misses, it calls the AI, stores the result, return. So every subsequent call from that prompt is a hit now. The first user to ask a question pays the AI cost. Everyone after that gets it for free. And this is why the cache pays off fast for any feature asked frequently. The cache key normalization is doing more work than it looks like. Trim and lowercase gets you a surprising amount of mileage for free. What is block and what is block hit the same cache entry. You'd be surprised how often users ask the same question with minor variations in capitalization or white space. Now we plug the cache into the AI repository layer. The pattern is classic cache aside. So check the cache. If hit, return immediately. If miss, call the AI, store the result, and return. Now, exact match caching with normalization catches a lot, but it misses semantically equivalent questions that are phrased differently. What is block and can you explain block to me and how does block work are three different strings. They all want the same answer. Semantic deduplication solves this. The idea is when a prompt comes in, generate an embedding or a vector representation of its meaning. Check if any existing cached entry has a similar enough embedding. If the cosine similarity is above a threshold, return that cached response. This requires an embeddings API call, which costs tokens, so the economics only makes sense if the prompt is likely to be asked frequently with variations, or the cost of the embeddings check is less than the cost of the AI response, or the latency for the embeddings check is acceptable. So for most Flutter apps, don't implement semantic deduplication yourself. Instead, semantic caching is a right answer for FAQ feature, a help system, or any feature where users ask the same questions with different phrasing. It's overkill for a general chat interface, so know your feature. The last piece of this lesson, what happens when the network is gone? The wrong answer is show an error, no internet connection, and then the conversation stops. The right answer is designed for it intentionally. So there are three levels of offline fast AI UX. Level 1 is cached responses only. If the user asks something that's in the cache, serve it. No network needed. If it's not cached, show a gentle message. You're offline. This feature requires a connection. Don't crash it, don't error, just explain. Then the level 2 is queue and retry. Non-urgent AI calls like background summarization, fact extraction can be queued when offline and processed when the connection returns. The user doesn't wait, the app just catches up. Then level 3 is on-device fallback. For features where offline AI is critical, a journaling app, a learning app, considering an on-device model is good as a fallback. Cloud model when connected, local model when offline. This is the hybrid architecture from lesson 2, applied specifically to offline resilience. Now here's how level 1 connects to the cache we built. The cache isn't just a performance optimization, it's an offline resilience layer. The architecture is the same, the benefit is both speed and availability. Now, quick checklist before we close. You need to cache during these cases in terms of summarization of static content, classification and categorization, FAQ and help system answers, or document analysis, or any prompt where the input is the same and the best answer doesn't change. Cases where you don't cache are in terms of chat messages where it's conversational, personal, and streaming, creative generation where each run should produce something new, prompts with timestamps or user specific context, or anything where stale matters to the user. So the test is if the user will be confused or disappointed to get a cached answer from last week, don't cache it. So 3 caching patterns in one lesson. Time to leave caching with Drift, the workhorse. A single cache entries table alongside your existing database. Normalized keys, lazy expiry, nullable opt-in per feature. Added to summarization and classification features from day one. Then we have semantic deduplication for high frequency features where users phrase the same question differently. Embedding similarity check before a full AI call. It's very useful. Then we have offline fast, the cache as a resilience layer, not just a speed layer. So serve from cache when offline. queue non-urgent calls, on-device fallback for critical features. Now, next lesson we look at testing AI-powered Flutter code. Unit testing repositories with mock providers, testing blocks that consume streams, the challenge of non-deterministic outputs. That's a lesson most of us avoid and most apps suffer from. See you there.